Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are on day 40 of our 40 days of sacred clearing for women over 40, making space for all things new. My name is Allison Rozelle, also known as Coach Roz, and I am here today because we are celebrating we made it to day 40. Yay! So, what I wanted to do is basically kind of go over some of the things we talked about. I am not going to name all 40 or rather 39 days previously. I'm just going to say, if you want to catch up and you want to hear all of the days and kind of remember some of the things we talked about, you can always go to soundcloud.com/Coach Roz. All right? Yeah. So, like within the first week of the challenge of this 40 days of sacred clearing, we talked about empty nest. And we talked about empty nest syndrome. We talked about some of the benefits of having an empty nest. We talked about some of the emotional things that happen to you when you are experiencing empty nest syndrome. One of the things that I know is is something that a lot of women have given me feedback on when it comes to empty nest is related to the identity crisis of how for years we've identified ourselves as our children's mother. Like I gave my story of, for years, my identity was wrapped up in the fact that I was Christian's mother. And that's what I identified as. And that's how I did everything in life, is him first and everything else. And then me somewhere towards the back, somewhere last. But now that he's a grown man, it's time for me to leapfrog to the front, start taking care of me. And it doesn't change the fact that I'm still his mother, but it just means that now I have the capacity to put myself first and to know that he's okay. Basically, that's what it means. Then we talked about gratitude and how gratitude is something that is so very, very important when it comes to anything that you're doing. But when it comes to sacred clearing, you always want to leave room for gratitude. When you pray or set intentions, when you journal, it's best to begin with gratitude because it kind of sets the tone of everything, and it does something very powerful energetically when you begin with gratitude. I always want to make sure that God knows I'm thankful. I always want to know that because I am grateful for everything that I have. I may not be exactly where I want to be right now, but I'm a whole lot further than I was. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for, my loved ones, my friends, my sister circles and everyone else. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the experiences that I have. So yeah, gratitude is hella important in this walk, in this journey, okay? Then we talked about settling. Are you settling? Are you? Are you settling in your life as far as, not just in relationships, but with your life in general? Are you settling? Are you settling with the status quo or of what people expect you to be or who you were raised to be? Are you settling for less than what you are capable of, or that you feel that you should have? You deserve the best, right? Because you are a child of the Most High God, so you deserve the best. And abundance is your birthright. It really is. So, are you settling? Then we talked about living in your truth. We talked about filling your empty nest with love, and whether that be love of a new relationship, or just more love of self. Definitely more love of self. And yeah, you want to make sure you're doing that. And then talked about building sacred spaces. We also talked about, and I'm looking at everything as I scroll on my playlist on SoundCloud to look at all the things that we talked about. We talked about a lot of stuff, and that is so awesome to have talked about these things. We talked about ending perfection. We talked about be it, own it, embrace it, be who you are, own who you are, embrace who you are. That's what that's about. That was day 33. You may want to check that out. Then we talked about stop quitting. If you don't like starting over, no pun intended to what I do as a starting over coach, but if you're sick of starting over, then my suggestion to you would be to stop quitting. Just reroute. Don't quit. Just reroute. Because a lot of times we get caught up in that just because we think that delay means denial, and it doesn't. A lot of times delay just means, okay, so you got to this point. Now it's time to go this way, because if you keep going that way, that's going to take you out of your blessing. That's going to take you out of where you're supposed to go. So you're supposed to cut this way. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get the ultimate of what you're wanting. It just means that you got to go a different route now. So that's why I did that one, to make it very clear for you to understand that stop quitting. Don't quit. Don't give up. Just let life reroute you accordingly. Go ahead and evolve, and don't be afraid of evolution in your life. But just know that you're being rerouted a lot of the times. Sometimes it is no. Sometimes the answer is no. You ask God and he's like, yep, no, that's not for you. But just know that even with a no, that there's something better for you. Okay. So then we talked about no more excuses. Sick of the excuses. And I know I'm sick of giving myself excuses. I'm sick of telling myself things and making excuses as to why I don't have things or I'm not doing things. No more excuses. So yeah, we got to cut those out. We got to clear out the excuses, because if we're going to make space for all things new, the excuses got to go. They have to go. And I don't know if y'all can see my tree in the back. But yes, the excuses have to go. Another thing we talked about was treating yourself with love and kindness. Now that one, definitely for me, because I had gotten off of my health and wellness regimens of like working out, drinking lots of water, eating a little more clean. I fell off of that big time. But I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm just going to pick myself up, dust myself off, and pick up where I left off. So yes, I've been all into my detox tea. I found some awesome mason jars, so I'm going to fix up my tea as soon as I'm done with this broadcast. I'm going to fix it up so it'll be ready for me in the morning. I am excited about it. I cannot wait. So yes, my detox tea will be my daily thing. And I'm also going to start monitoring how much water I drink. And I've been following a friend of mine. Her name is Gail, and she has, my mind is drawing a blank as to the name of her site. I'll get it in just a minute. But she is doing a 12 days of fitness challenge. And she has been doing this, and I think today she was on day 9. And after watching her video, I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. You got me. I'm about to do this challenge because I got to get myself back on track. So her site or her Facebook page is called Free Her Soul Wellness. So not only am I going to be doing my detox tea, but I'm going to start back at day 1 from her 12 days of fitness. And all it is is you're basically getting in some exercise in like 10 or 15 minutes. And she was like, it's amazing what you can do in 10 minutes. So it's like you've got planks in there, then you've got some jumping jacks and high knees and things like that. And basically it's just using your body, not the gym, not equipment, none of that. It's using your body and moving your body. So I was like, you know what? That'll be a great jump start to go along with my detox tea. Hello, Tabitha. Thanks for joining. So I told her, I said, okay, you got me. I'm starting from day one, and I'm gonna hit it, and I'm gonna do it. So that'll be my thing that I start tomorrow. I gotta go through her videos and find each one for the days. But I'm gonna do that, and I've committed to doing that. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna videotape myself doing it all the time, because, you know, some of them I might look kind of crazy doing. But I might videotape myself or video myself doing like some of them. I don't know. Or maybe just take some pictures or whatever. But I'm committed to doing that every day for the 12 days. And I'm gonna do it before I go to work. So I'm gonna get up early enough so I can do it before work and then go from there. That's what I want to do. So going back to our 40 days. So then that's why the treat yourself with love and kindness was so important, that particular message, because it was all about honoring yourself. And that was the affirmation, I treat myself with love and kindness. And I wanted to know, how are you honoring yourself and treating yourself with love and kindness? Are you drinking more water? Are you getting more exercise? Are you, setting healthy boundaries with friends and family so they, don't steal your joy and rob you of your energy? Are you learning to say no more? Are you just showing up for yourself, period, by honoring the commitments that you've made? Like if you said if you're writing a book and you said, I'm gonna write a chapter a day, are you doing that? Or are you making excuses for it? Are you honoring yourself? That's what that is. And then we talked about forgiveness. This day, that when we talked about forgiveness, was a little bit different. It wasn't the typical forgive other people stuff. It was more of, this is your time to clear the air with someone that you've wronged, or you didn't do what you needed to do, you've hurt their feelings, or whatever the case may be, but you yourself need to go and ask for forgiveness. And it's up to them as to whether or not they choose to forgive you. But once you've done what you're supposed to do by asking for forgiveness, it's out of your hands. You can't control the outcome. All you can do is ask for forgiveness and move on. That's it. And whether they do or they don't, it shouldn't rob you of anything, because you did what you were supposed to do, right? Right. So it's the same thing. So whether it's a family member, a friend or ex-friend, spouse, whomever, and even if it's God, if you got to go before God and ask for forgiveness, do it. Do what you need to do, but you need to ask for forgiveness. And I suggested that you do Ho'oponopono prayer, which is the I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And you say that to that person. Now, if that person is in the ancestor realm and they can't, you can talk to them, but you know what I'm saying. They're not going to be like face to face with you. Then my suggestion is go into meditation and then sit and have that moment of Ho'oponopono prayer with them in front of you in your mind, in your meditation. Okay? All right. So then we talked about how it's time to rise into your shine, because it was the new moon and we were just reeling off the new moon energy still in the atmosphere, because I told you there is a shift going on, and I don't know how you feel, but I certainly feel that shift, and I feel there are things happening for the better. But you got to get in position. You got to be prepared to do the work, because you can't just get something for nothing. You got to be prepared to do the work. Once you do the work, and you also have to make sure that you are preparing yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because it can take a toll. It can take a toll if you're not careful. So, but it is time to rise into your shine. And then yesterday we talked about protecting your energy. This is huge because we always want to guard our energy. We always want to make sure that we are taking care of our energy. As I've said before, sometimes we have people in our lives that basically don't need to be in our lives anymore, but for whatever reason, they're still there, and most likely because we're holding on to them and we don't want to let go. Excuse me. So, with that, you have to learn how to cut the cords, protect your energy, because some of the toxic people that we allow in our lives and keep in our lives for whatever reason, they're not helping the situation at all. And then protect your energy from the people who, maybe you have kind of distanced yourself from, but they try to come into your space and still bring you all this drama and stress, and you're like, don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the latest gossip. I don't want to hear about what's going on in the White House. I don't want to hear about, who did what to whom and in what manner. I just don't care. And so, protect your energy at all costs. And, some people will understand it and be fine with it. And then some people will give you some pushback. And if they give you some pushback, let them keep pushing. But it's not going to change the fact that you got to set those boundaries. You got to protect your energy. You don't have time to get caught up in a whole bunch of crazy foolery with people, because you have your own work to do. And that's a big thing a lot of times that we do. We carry so much for other people. And it's the norm for people to come to us with their problems, because a lot of us are empaths. And so we carry a lot of people's energy, and people come and dump that on us, and they don't realize that they're doing it, and we take it on. But that's just who we are. But we got to learn how to kind of learn to not do that so much. All right. So, sorry. Here we are at day 40. And I just wanted to recap everything. And I wanted to say thank you for joining and keeping up with the 40 days. I know in the midst of it, in the middle, we took like a little sabbatical. I took a little sabbatical. I needed to. I needed that moment of self-care, self-reflection, and everything else to be able to come back and deliver my messages effectively. So I needed those days. And I thank you for being patient and coming back and participating and listening to those days. So with that being said, with the mention of day 38 of us rising into our shine, I told you that I have something really special coming up. So I still have not named this. For now, I'm calling it Vision 2019. But I know me, I'm going to come up with some razzle-dazzle name for it. I have a few ideas, but I still don't have a name for it. Nevertheless, it's going to start next week. It's going to start on Monday, the 17th. Here's what's going to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to do our own year-end review of 2018 together. Now, how we're going to do that? Exclusively in the free Facebook group. So if you're not a part of the group, then I'm going to put that link in these comments so that you can join. the group, but that is going to be the way that you participate in the challenge. And like I said, what it is we're doing a week of doing a year in review. So basically, we're just going to go through 2018 and we're going to decide how we're going to navigate and move into 2019. We're going to pick our words for 2019, and I'll unveil my words for 2019 because I haven't told you, and I said I'm going to keep it to myself, but that's where I'm going to do it. So we're going to really take a deep dive. This is a totally free challenge. At the end of the challenge, I am going to make you an amazing offer, but the challenge is still free and you'll get a lot of good information. Also, there's going to be a special prayer and meditation session on Friday, the 21st. So on that day, that is actually the day of winter solstice. So we are going to do a special winter solstice prayer and meditation session, and this is going to be us reconnecting with the divine through the crown chakra. Woo! So we are setting 2019 on fire, and we're going to start it off with some prayer and meditation. We're going to set intentions. We're going to do all of that and then some. So I'm going to put the link here in the comments for joining the group. So if you're not a part of the free Facebook group, join it so you can be a part of the free challenge. Again, I haven't named it yet. I'm still thinking about a name to call it. For now, I'm calling it Vision 2019. But yes, if you want to be a part of it, be a part of it. We're going to do a year-end review. We're going to talk about our plans for 2019. We're going to set the tone for 2019 because we got to start right now. I wanted to start in November, but that didn't happen. And I think that's divine. It all happens in divine timing. I think this is perfect because we're setting the tone at the right moment, at the right time. Right? Right. So, yeah. Invite other women to be a part of it. If you know of some women who want and need to be a part of it, I'm also going to create an event, and excuse me, it's going to be on Facebook, and people will be able to see it. It's about to go live in some advertising. Yep, we're going to do this thing big, so I want you to be a part of it, but I'm so grateful and thankful for those who have been a part of the 40 days. Again, if you need to get caught up, go to soundcloud.com/Coach Roz, and you can get caught up on all 40 days. All right? So that's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Brandy. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful evening. I love you. Bye for now. Yay.